What is going on, everybody? Matt Modi here with OddsJam, here to talk about some best bets for tomorrow's betting slate on Sunday, January 22nd. Obviously, looking at the Cowboys, 49ers, and the Bengals Bills game. Going to be an incredibly good day of football. Two really good teams. Not exactly sure what to expect from either of these outcomes. Wouldn't be surprised if any of the four teams win. But let's get right into it. So I am going to be giving some best bets, obviously, for that tomorrow's betting slate, looking at the OddsJam Positive Expected Value page to lock in these sharp, mathematically profitable bets. And the first one that we're going to go ahead and lock in here is the first quarter total over 7.5, minus 102 odds at Circa Sportsbook. And let's chat why this one is mathematically profitable. So obviously, getting the over 7.5 first quarter total points means that it has to be over a touchdown. Any way in which 8 or more points are scored and our bet wins. So these no vig odds, right? You see this column here. Right under it, you see the minus 107.47. So these odds are pulled from the sharpest sportsbooks in terms of pricing odds, right? The sportsbooks that consistently do the best job at pricing odds. So we see odds range from minus 102 up to minus 120. Pretty wide range considering how tight the market is. Like if you just subtract both sides of the line, like we're only charging, or not by we, I mean, we're only getting charged 14 cents of juice via Pinnacle for this play. So the gap between these books is pretty big. So with that in mind, that there is a gap between the sports books, well, one has to be right and one has to be wrong, or the middle has to be right and they're both wrong. Either way, they both can't accurately reflect the market that is this Cowboys 49ers first quarter total over 7.5, right? They can't be that far apart and both accurately reflect the market. Apple stock can't be priced at $200 a share on one exchange, $300 a share on another exchange, and both of them be the accurate reflection of Apple stock's market price. Doesn't make any sense. So with that in mind, with one being right, one being wrong, or both being wrong, that's also an option. There are some sports books that are better than others at pricing odds, that are more accurate more often of the time. So with what OddsJam did, with kind of that sentiment being, all right, let's look at these odds from every major sports book. One's right, one's wrong. Which ones are consistently right? They back tested thousands and thousands of betting opportunities to determine what sports books are consistently the best at pricing odds. That's exactly where these no vig odds come from. They're pulled from the sports books that are tested to be the most accurate. So anywhere in which we can get better odds, and better odds just means a higher payout, that's going to be profitable. As simple as that. That's going to be profitable. So in this case, the no vig odds price it at about minus 107.5. Circa offers it at minus 102. There's your profitability right there, the 5.5 cent gap between these two books. Now, that doesn't just mean you should lock in every single bet that shows up on the positive EV page. You want to do a little bit more work to make sure you're placing the best of the best. And all I mean by that is compare the odds of the bet you're placing to the rest of the sports books. So minus 102 at Circa, the closest book is XBet, whatever the hell XBet is, at minus 114. Look at every other book. We see odds minus 116, minus 118, minus 120, and then these four have it at minus 115. In terms of sharp books, Pinnacle, very sharp sports book, they have it at minus 116. That's a good sign. Bookmaker, another very sharp sports book, they have it at minus 118. That's another good sign. And the fact that every other book is in agreement is telling you that this is a mispriced line, is some sort of discrepancy between every book that should be taken advantage of, right? Like if Circa has the cheapest price for this over 7.5 points, the 7 or 8 other books have it more expensive. What's more likely here? That they're all wrong and Circa's right? Or that this one sports book just has this one market mispriced? That's what positive expected value betting is. It's taking advantage of sports books that have mispriced lines. So this is play number one. Cowboys 49ers team total, Cowboys 49ers first quarter total over 7.5. The next play, and where I got the team total from, we are backing the Cowboys to score over 20.5 points, minus 110 odds at BetMGM. The no vig odds for this one are at about minus 115, essentially, minus 114.5, and we're getting it at minus 110. So again, there's your gap. There's your profitability. In terms of sharp sportsbooks and where they price it, Pinnacle, you want to check first at -127. BetOnline is another sharp sportsbook. They price it at -130. And then we see -124, -125, -128, with two books having it kind of close to the to the BetMGM market, which is PointsBet, which is circa each at -115. One thing that I like to do a lot before placing a bet, so if you view this event page in a new tab, it just pulls up kind of the markets where every sportsbook prices the team total market at. But another thing that you can do from this page is you can, by one click of the button, remove the VIG from every sportsbook and where they price it. Now, the VIG is the juice that sportsbooks price odds, right? Like for this PointsBet one, we see -115 each way. They're charging 15 cents of juice on each side of this market. That's how they make their money. They get a 50-50 payout. No matter who wins, they pay out 50% each side, and they're making money by this juice. So if you click this button here, show no VIG odds, it shows exactly what it sounds like, the no VIG odds from every sportsbook. So remember, we are betting it at -110. So we want to make sure that the majority of sportsbooks have their no VIG odds higher, meaning more favorable to occur, above the number of -110. Let's check it out. And you want to look at the sharp books to confirm. Pinnacle, -117, great sign. BetOnline, -113, great sign. The majority of the other books, -113, -112, -114. Only two have no VIG odds worse than the -110 that BetMGM has. And we already knew that just by looking at how they have it priced. So the sports books are telling you that BetMGM has this as a mispriced line. So this is play number 2, Cowboys team total over 20.5. As an Eagles fan, this hurts a lot, but gotta bet where the value tells you to bet. Play number 3. So these two I avoided because the value I didn't think was good enough in terms of discrepancy across the sports books. They weren't outliers to Pinnacle along with the majority of the markets. So I decided to skip them, and I literally just locked in this one, this Cowboys versus 49ers first half total under 22.5 plus 105 odds at Caesars. Just locked this one in. As you can see here, I put a full unit on this one, which is $100 for me. Put $100 on this one, and let's chat about it. So no VIG odds, price this pretty much at about plus 104. We're getting it at Caesars at plus 105. If you compare the markets, we see odds range from -102 up to about -115. And then again, what I like to do, what I recommend doing, view this event page in a new tab and remove the VIG from all of these markets to make sure that the no VIG odds from A, the sharp books, and B, the majority of books have it priced as more favorable to occur than the bet we are placing, which is plus 105. So I already did this one. We're looking at the Caesars line. Let me zoom out a little bit just so we can see everybody. So the last 3 books, these two are both Pinnacle. These are XBet, so just keep that in mind. We took under 22.5, and remember, we took it at plus 105 odds. So BetOnline has this at plus 104. That's a good sign. And then the other sports books, BetMGM, PointsBet, Bet365, DraftKings, all have it below the plus 105 number. So that is telling you that this is a pretty good price on this first half total under 22.5. So this is play number 3. I think I have 2 more. Yep, I got 5 total. The next one, we're looking at Deebo Samuel to go over 15.5 rushing yards. I actually already locked this one in, as you can see on Bet365. Guess I need to log back in here. Looking at the odds, OddsJam Perfect Line prices this at about -110. Pinnacle at -132. DraftKings at -125. Caesars at -139. One reason why I like this one, another reason, besides the fact that it's plus EV, if you view this event page in a new tab, and here you can see that I locked it in, Deebo Samuel, I got over 14.5 rushing yards. It's still good at 15.5, so I still recommend you guys locking it in. But look at where majority of sportsbooks price it, right? Like we got it over 15.5. We see Underdog price it at 14.5, so that's actually a good over. This is Underdog right here, by the way. So this is a good over if you use Underdog. But then we see other sports books like Bet Rivers is this one here, and then this book down here is BetOnline. That's a good sign. BetOnline prices it above 15.5. We got it at we took the over 15.5. So the fact that BetOnline prices it above that number is a good sign. So this is play number 4, and the last one I will briefly touch on. First quarter total under 9.5. plus 106 odds at Bet Rivers. It's plus EV if you remove the VIG from Pinnacle, from Bookmaker, from the majority of other sports books as well, telling you that this is a good price. So first quarter total under 9.5, we're getting it for plus money. And that's going to be it. So 5 picks for you guys to lock in for Sunday's betting slate. If you're tailing these, comment and let me know. But that's all I got. So appreciate everybody watching and have a good one.